Welcome to another strategy session where we hope to give you, the real estate professional, a tip, an action, just maybe some inspiration that you can take back to your business and apply it right now. My name is Mangum and I'm the founder of The Strategic Agent, and I would like to ask you a question. And my question is, how does the world see you? Well, this is a continuation of a conversation that we have been having for a few weeks, and it's a really important conversation. So let me just go back and summarize some of the things that we've been talking about. First, we've been talking about the prospecting cycle, and the prospecting cycle has three pieces to it. And the first piece is awareness. Create awareness of your services. You know what I'm talking about. When you're doing open houses, talking to your sphere of influence, maybe approaching a for sale by owner, all of those things are creating awareness of your services. The second phase of your prospecting cycle is creating interest. Not just interest, but intrigue. Intrigue about you and your business and how you can help them. And then the third piece of the business cycle is for them to take action, for them to take the action that you have proposed. Of course, all of these are interrelated. For them to take an action, they are going to have to be interested and intrigued by you. Well, how does all that happen? Enter the online profile. So we have been talking a lot about profiles and how the majority of people, when they become aware of you, are going to go out into the world and they are going to Google you. And they are going to look at that information and they are going to evaluate whether you are the right person to help them based on what's out there. And so the question I have for you is this. Is someone going to be interested and intrigued by what they see on your online profile? Now, I've been asking this question a lot over the last month, and the majority of the time I have been hearing the answer, probably not. Probably not. Ugh, that is a problem, and that's a problem because you're doing all this work to gain awareness of your services and then allowing them to walk off because they're not interested when they look at your profile. All right, so what should your profile have? Let's start there. Your profile should have several things. First, it should have a great profile. It should be great information about you. Not just information about you, but information about how you can benefit them. It is, by the way, all about them. The next thing that you need to have is social proof. You need to have things like testimonials or references, those kinds of things, so somebody can go, oh yeah, there is proof. So that is something that is very common in our culture now, is wanting to see that. When was the last time you booked a hotel without looking at a review? Yeah, we do it all the time. And then the third thing that you really need to have is a good picture. You know, I know that sounds so basic, but I have to say to you, if you have just an okay picture, and I see pictures all the time, I see pictures that aren't current, I see pictures that were taken at a party with you holding a martini and it was done sideways, so there's this shadow. You know what I am talking about. You need to get rid of that. Your picture needs to have someone go, yeah, she looks like she knows what she's doing. So you have to go ahead and make sure you take care of that. So all this is pretty simple, right? Great profile, social proof, and a good photo. But it's not so simple, is it? And it's not so simple because of something called value reluctance. Now, you might go out and try to Google that term and you won't find it because I coined it. And value reluctance is something I see in agents all the time when I'm coaching them. They struggle with the idea of pushing their value out to others, of answering the question, why me? Why should you pick me? And the problem really basically is, in the real estate profession, we aren't selling houses, we're selling our services. And because we're selling our services ourselves, all of our internal junk gets messed up in there, and we know what we don't know. And so it really, really makes it hard. So what are we going to do about all this? I mean, so what action should you take about all this? Well, let's start with the first one. The first one is you need to have some awareness of what your social presence looks like right now. You need to understand that. You need to build some awareness about it. Then you need to become educated on what it takes to do a good profile. What are the components of a great profile? You also need to go ahead and start building what you want people to hear about you. And honestly, this one right here revolutionized my real estate business. When someone said this to me, they said, "Joe, think of it this way. Let's say that I'm a news reporter and I'm standing outside a closing attorney's office, and they come out and that reporter puts a microphone under the mouth of the person that just closed, that was your client, and they said to them, 'Tell us about Joe.' What do you want them to say?" Wow, when somebody asked me that, it kind of was a game changer for me. What do I want them to say? Because they're only going to say what I have built for them to say. Don't leave it out there for them to ramble. Give them who you are. So lay out what are the things that you want them to say about you. And then the last action you need to take is you need to overcome this fear of putting your value out there, of answering the question, why me? So those are the things, the actions that you need to take immediately to help yourself. So, okay, this sounds pretty big, right? Well, I'm not leaving you hanging. I got resources for you. So I've got lots of resources. So when I began this journey of talking about how the world is seeing you, I made the decision to go out and find myself an expert, and I did. I found an expert on online profiles, and her name is Shannon Ramos, and she's been doing some webinars for us, and she's been writing a lot of this information for us, and she created 3 freebies. And these 3 freebies are available to you to go below and click. And also we have 3 blogs that went with those freebies. So if you haven't seen those and you're seeing me on YouTube, you can go over to the playlist and see them there. If you're viewing this on my website, all of them are just above this blog. So you can go and look at that. But the links to the freebies are below. So the 3 freebies, one of them is giving you a checklist of how to look at how Google is seeing you. The second one is the components of a compelling profile. And the third one is a checklist of how you go out and lay the information out that you want people to see about you. And then also make sure to go back to my blog called The Dirty Little Secrets of Real Estate Agents. Because we lay out the psychology of why we struggle putting our value out there. So those 4 resources are crazy important to solving this problem. So here's my challenge. My challenge is this. Do it. Do it now. Do not allow this problem to continue. Because if you do, all the prospecting that you're doing is for naught. Really. Because your hard work is walking away when they Google and they don't like what they see. So this needs to go on your to-do list. It needs to go on your to-do list now. Work through it. Make sure to do it. All right, this is the end of our series, the 4th blog and the end of our series on how does the world see you. It's all still out there for you to go and look at. The freebies are there for you to go and download so you can take care of it. Now, let me go ahead and give you a preview of what our next series is. We are taking on a huge topic, and I'm really super excited about it. And we're calling it Slay the Roller Coaster. We are going to teach you once and for all how to get rid of that roller coaster that we all get on in the real estate business. So stay tuned for the next strategy session.